The notion that vaccines and global warming are lies used to oppress Christians is a perspective that has been circulating among certain groups. This idea suggests that these two major global issues are being manipulated and distorted by powerful entities to control and suppress Christian populations. While this claim may seem far-fetched, it is essential to examine the underlying arguments and evidence to understand the concerns of those who hold this belief. On the one hand, some argue that vaccines are a tool of oppression, citing concerns about their safety, efficacy, and potential links to autism, infertility, and other health issues. They claim that the pharmaceutical industry, governments, and international organizations are pushing vaccines as a means to exert control over populations, particularly Christians, who are seen as a threat to their power. This narrative often points to the fact that many vaccines are developed and distributed by secular organizations, which are perceived as having anti-Christian agendas. Furthermore, some conspirators argue that vaccines contain harmful ingredients, such as aborted fetal cells, which are morally objectionable to Christians. However, the overwhelming scientific evidence supports the safety and efficacy of vaccines in preventing infectious diseases. The World Health Organization (WHO), the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC), and other reputable health organizations have extensively researched and tested vaccines, concluding that they are a crucial tool in protecting public health. The notion that vaccines are a means to oppress Christians is not supported by empirical evidence and is often based on misinformation and misconceptions. In fact, many Christian denominations and organizations, such as the Catholic Church, have explicitly endorsed vaccination as a morally justifiable and essential practice for protecting human life. Regarding global warming, some argue that it is a hoax perpetuated by secular elites to impose their ideology on Christians and restrict their freedoms. They claim that the science behind climate change is flawed, and that the issue is being exaggerated to justify draconian policies such as carbon taxes, renewable energy mandates, and population control measures. This narrative often portrays Christians as being particularly vulnerable to these policies, which are seen as an attack on their values, lifestyles, and economic well-being. Nevertheless, the scientific consensus on global warming is clear. Human activities, particularly the emission of greenhouse gases from burning fossil fuels, are significantly contributing to the rise in global temperatures. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC), composed of thousands of scientists from around the world, has concluded that climate change is real, primarily caused by human activities, and poses significant risks to ecosystems, human health, and economy. While some Christians may be skeptical of climate change, many others recognize the issue as a moral and spiritual imperative, calling for responsible stewardship of God's creation and care for the most vulnerable populations. In conclusion, the idea that vaccines and global warming are lies used to oppress Christians is a complex and multifaceted issue. While some arguments may be rooted in legitimate concerns about safety, efficacy, and ideology, the overwhelming evidence supports the importance of vaccines in preventing infectious diseases and the reality of human-caused climate change. Rather than perpetuating conspiracy theories and misinformation, Christians and non-Christians alike should engage in respectful dialogue, seeking to understand the scientific consensus and the moral implications of these issues. By promoting critical thinking, empathy, and cooperation, we can work together to address the pressing challenges of our time, protecting both human life and the planet we call home.